We are going to be drawing an underwater aquarium for this project, and we're going to be using something called 1-point perspective, which means we're going to draw it so it looks like it goes into the distance. What you'll need is a 12-inch ruler, an eraser, and you will need a pencil. When you use your ruler, I do want to point out you need to look at the edge of your ruler. Some rulers, the zero is in a little bit from the edge. So when you start to measure on a ruler like this, you start at that line. If your ruler's like this, where zero is right on the edge, then you actually use the edge of the ruler to start measuring. So pay attention to that, because you will be off a little bit if you don't pay attention to where the zero mark actually is, because sometimes the zero mark is not the edge of the ruler. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to make a dot in the center of your paper. So the center is 6 inches, and you need to do it a little bit below halfway. So about here, and you need to make a dot. And this is called the vanishing point. This represents the furthest point in the distance that our eyes can see. Then what you're going to do is connect that vanishing point to all 4 of the corners. As with this whole project, you need to be precise. Kind of doesn't get it with this project. I am going to have to press firmly because I need the camera to pick up my lines. You need to press as lightly as possible. You will have to erase some things in the end, so make sure that you do press lightly. So I'm going from the vanishing point to each corner, like so. Then what I need you to do is lay your ruler at the bottom, and remember, if your zero is at the edge, you put it at the edge of the paper. If you're using a ruler like this one, you need to line up the zero line with the edge of the paper. They do that so if the ruler gets dinged up, you can still measure more precisely. Then what you need to do is mark every 2 inches, so multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. This is going to be the floorboards. What I need you to do then is line up the vanishing point with each of those dots and connect them. Again, draw lightly. I am pressing hard. Because the lines are getting closer together as they go to the vanishing point, it makes it look like these lines are going back into your paper. So now you should have something that looks like this. Now you have a couple of options. You could make it look checkerboard. So you could take your ruler and make sure you put the edge of your ruler on the edge of your paper so they're nice straight lines. See how I lined that up? Don't just set it out here. You might be all wonky. Put it right on the edge. And you could draw a checkerboard by drawing lines all the way across like this. And as I get closer to the edge of the paper, I'm making the lines further apart. If you make the lines a little closer together in the back, it makes it appear that they're going away into the distance. And then this looks like this one just goes right off the paper. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make an arched ceiling. Again, the ones that are further away need to be a little closer together. As they get closer to us, they should spread further and further apart. Just do the best you can with your freehand, it's fine. Again, if you draw lightly, then you can erase, and I'm going to make that one look like it goes right off the edge of the paper. Then back here, I want you to make it look like there's a doorway. So I'm going to make vertical lines, and then I'm going to erase everything that's inside of there. So that's when the vanishing point is going to go away. and you just kind of need to go back in and fix it up a little bit. So I make it look like there's a doorway. So now I have my doorway. I didn't get that lined up exactly. It won't look right if you don't line the doorway up exactly with that vanishing line there. There we go. And you can see I'm having to adjust. You'll have to do the same thing. So now I have my floor, my arches, my doorway. Now the job is to put some sea creatures in the windows. I would like you to think about drawing sea creatures that are larger, closer to you. So maybe I'm going to draw like an octopus here that's a little bit bigger. Make it look like his one tentacle goes right off. And I'm going to have a couple kind of peeking out from behind him. So I'll have an octopus here. He's going to be a happy octopus. And I could do some smaller sea creatures. If you draw them smaller, they'll look like they're further in the back. So please go ahead now and draw some sea creatures on both sides. You can even put some looking down from up above. And then on the next video, we'll talk about where to go from here.